So, would it not stand to reason that if you transformed permanently the first time, that you would never have to restart? What's up, guys? Coach Carissa here. Welcome to our channel. This channel is all about helping real women lose real weight by uncovering the fact that your breakthrough really only lies at the intersection of the actions you take and the beliefs that you hold, which is just our fancy way of saying that you can't only concern yourself with the physical actions you're trying to take, like how you're eating, how you're moving, things like that, but you also need to get a grip on what's going on with you internally so you can stop self-sabotaging, stop falling back to your old habits, and stop having to start over and over and over again. So enjoy this week's lesson and subscribe for more. Lesson tonight I have prepared for you is called Restarts and Rebounds, right? So quick show of hands, who here has tried more than one diet? Okay, so if you've tried more than one diet, you should be familiar with a restart or a rebound of some sort. So tonight I want to discuss overcoming those for good, so you don't ever have to suffer through them again. So would it not stand to reason that if you transformed permanently the first time, that you would never have to restart?
Yes.
Right? Because restarts and rebounds only occur when the changes you're making are anything less than permanent. So wouldn't that mean the key to overcoming restarts and rebounds is to pursue permanent transformation? So that's what I want to unpack. So what does permanent mean, right? You guys know I'm a big fan of language. So permanent from the Latin root means to endure. To endure means to harden or make lasting. So to change permanently is to essentially enter into a state where you endure long enough to harden and therefore make the lasting change. So permanence is rooted in a continuing or a lasting nature. In contrast, temporary, right? Temporary means, the root definition is a time or a season. It's used to designate the absence of permanence. So if something's temporary, it only lasts for a limited time. Not even going to ask it. No one here is interested in temporary change, right?
No.
We do not want change that lasts for a limited time. It's a lot of effort, a lot of work for very little payoff. Instead, we should be interested in permanent change that continues, strengthens, and lasts. So how do we do this? If you're really pursuing permanent change, as in you're not just saying you want to, like it sounds nice, but you're actually willing to put in that work, because it's the same effort no matter what, right? If you're really pursuing permanent change, you must pursue what we call identity-based change, not outcome-based change. So what's the difference? What's up, Lindsay? What's up, Janae? Outcome-based change says that you'll do things until you achieve a certain outcome. As in, maybe you'll eat this way or work out this way until you lose 30 pounds. And then you'll go back to who you really are or how you really want to behave. Which sounds nice, but it's going to backfire eventually, because you're going to have to come face to face with your untouched identity, and she's going to have some words and opinions. Plus, the journey is going to be very exhausting. And in my opinion, if you're truly interested in becoming transformed both inside and out, you shouldn't want to go back to your old self anyway. I believe transformation's a forward-only journey. So it's better to transform and evolve into who you really want to be. So there's really nothing left to go back to. That's identity-based change, is addressing who you really are rather than putting her on the back burner to deal with later. And the reason I go so in depth with this is because these are truly two different paths. There's identity-based or outcome-based change and identity-based change. Temporary change versus permanent change. One does not lead to the other. If you've ever resolved consciously or subconsciously to change your behaviors temporarily, you're not on the path to permanent change. You might stumble onto it, but they're separate. So as you walk your chosen path, your actions from the outside in might look similar or even the same to someone observing. But where you end up, how many restarts you deal with, comes down to which path you're walking. which comes down to your intentions and the words you're speaking as you walk. So ask yourself right now, are the changes that you are trying to make right now, are you intending for those to stay or not? Are the changes you're trying to make right now rooted in just this time and in this season? Or are they rooted in a continuing and lasting nature? It's a helpful question to ask yourself anytime you try and invite something into your life. We say this a lot. If you're not willing to do something for 10 years, don't do it for 10 days. So I want to break this down even more because I really want this to hit home. This is the deepest we've ever gone with this topic. Let me ask you this. Is it possible to do different without becoming different? Yes, you can. This is the most common way, actually. This is changing how you're eating and successfully losing weight without intending to continue maybe the diet you implemented. This is hopping on a diet plan like keto or intermittent fasting or Weight Watchers, losing the weight, because you'll notice if you do these diets properly, they work. But what often doesn't work is what happens after. Sometimes you slowly regain the weight you lost because you went back to your old ways, because you didn't really intend to stay on keto for life, for example. Or sometimes you never fully lose the weight because the diet itself was too unsustainable or exhausting, so you abandoned ship. Maybe rightfully so, right? Very rarely do women lose weight on one of those diets and then go back to a more flexible way of eating and without regaining any weight, although it absolutely can be done. The women who lose weight temporarily are changing what they're doing on the outside without changing who they're being on the inside. As in, they are maybe overweight and they identify as an overweight person who's eating healthy and exercising until they lose, let's say, 50 pounds. Then once they reach their goal weight, they have to face the fact that they still identify as an overweight person who eats and behaves like an overweight person. And that's when they face the problems of backsliding and rebounding and having to start over. So doing different without becoming different results in temporary and very hard-fought change, and it's not fun. The woman who loses weight permanently pursues something entirely different. They pursue becoming different in order to do different. Same example, they're an overweight person who's becoming healthy, who behaves like a healthy person because they are moving towards identifying as a healthy person. And the 50 pounds comes off slowly but surely on this pursuit. And when they reach their weight loss goal, there's nothing to go back to because the old version is long gone, long evolved. She brought her identity with her along the way. So doing different without becoming different versus becoming different in order to do different. Which one are you? Becoming different in order to do different is the type of change we want to pursue. It's the best use of our time and the best ROI on our efforts and our energy, our exhaustible resources, our precious time, our precious energy. Because if who you are on the inside changes, then what you do on the outside will naturally change too. And you're not going to have to fight for it. There's going to be no more on track or off track. It's just you living your life being you. So as long as you're you, your results are going to be there too. That's permanent change. And I'll prove that this can be so epic for you one day. If right now you're stuck at your current weight, or you've been stuck there for years, congratulations. You're subconsciously maintaining weight. It's very hard to do intuitively, and you're already doing it. You're eating exactly the right foods, moving the exact right amount to maintain. Maybe you're just at the wrong weight. Maybe you want to do that 50 pounds lighter. If you stop trying to lose weight by any means necessary and started behaving as someone who weighs 50 pounds less, I promise you're going to be blown away at how differently things are going to occur to you. And if you did that, you'd be asking the right questions, more meaningful questions, more meaningful progress. Instead of asking, how do I lose 50 pounds? You might start asking, how does someone who weighs 130 pounds behave? That's a better question. And if you seek that long enough and actually become that person, you'll maintain weight at 130 pounds just as easily and effortlessly as you're maintaining weight right now, because it will simply be who you are and who you've become. So in every action you take this week in your mind, just practice replacing doing with being. And you'll train your mind to stop pursuing actions and instead pursue a different you entirely. The you that you want to be. For example, drinking water. Do not do the action of drinking water if you want to drink more water. Behave like a hydrated person. Don't simply do the action of working out. Be an active person. Be it, and you will have it. How do you spell behave? Be-have. Be it, you will have it. If you start making changes based on who you decide to be, you're no longer forcing change. You're in the process of becoming transformed. So stop exercising and eating well because you're trying to lose weight. Because if you attach those actions to that outcome, you're doing outcome-based change. That implies you're going to stop exercising and stop eating well once you reach your weight loss goal, which I hope you're not. Instead, exercise and eat well because it's what a healthy person does. Or the person you want to be with vitality and wellness and strength. It's what they do. They train and they eat to have those things. If you want to be a healthy person, as soon as you decide to be one, you can live into that right now. How could that be, though, if you look into the mirror and you might not like what you see? Well, I'd argue it's because it's who you've decided to be and indeed are becoming. Because to decide is to cut off or kill off, right? It's the same root as genocide, homicide, decide, to cut off or kill off. To decide means to pick one thing and kill off everything else. So if you decide to be healthy, that means you're killing off the option of being unhealthy. You can't be both healthy and unhealthy in the same body. Pick one, be it. Once you pick, there's nothing to go back to, because to decide is to burn all bridges, right? So behave healthy and nothing else. You're going to make mistakes. It's going to be bumpy. There's going to be learning. Let it happen. Keep charging forward, and you'll be living into the destiny of you as a healthy, lean, able-bodied woman. Because health is not a destination. It's a process, right? You can't buy health. You can only rent it, and the rent's due every day. So your transformation is one decision away to go all in, become someone new, get massive clarity on what she looks like and how she acts, and then back that decision each and every day through who you're being. We're not temporarily trying on actions here. We're stepping into a new person. And as long as you're behaving like a healthy person more often than you're behaving like an unhealthy person, the external result's going to materialize for you to see and the rest of the world. So my challenge for you guys tonight is to start practicing being rather than doing. And you'll stop starting over, you'll stop rebounding, and you'll fast track your progress, because you'll be on the path that ends in permanent transformation rather than get stuck in the loop of temporary change. Thank you so much for watching. We truly hope you enjoyed that lesson. So every single week we make room for one guest spot on these support calls. So if you'd like the opportunity to attend, ask questions, receive coaching, just hit the link in the description box, or you can head over to gainslinger.com/coach me. Once again, that's Gainslinger, GAINSLINGER.com/coach me, all one word. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you next week.